Hey guys, my name is Beaver and we are going to be looking at this beautiful baby, Miss Evelyn Mae Boswell. This particular case it just took over my heart. This precious baby. I was very much and still am invested in this investigation. But let's just take a deep dive. Evelyn Mae Boswell was born November 21st, 2018 to Megan Boswell and Ethan Perry. Megan was 18 at the time of the baby's disappearance, and Ethan 20, and he is stationed in Louisiana. Both are from Sullivan County. There's not a whole lot about their relationship from the baby's age and the lack of information. I don't assume they were together super long, but there was a time where Megan and Evelyn traveled to Texas to visit him briefly before he went to Louisiana. In fact, in an interview we're going to watch a little bit of, she actually states the baby slept a full 24 hours. But that's nor here nor there. Evelyn was reported missing on February 18th by her grandfather, Tommy Sr., which is Megan Boswell's father. He originally called DCS because that is where Megan said the baby was. In addition to saying that she was with DCS, she also said that the baby was with her father, Ethan Perry, and she had also told other people that the baby was with her mother, Angela Boswell. No one had been able to confirm a sighting, and actually the sheriff says one witness outside of the family says the baby was last seen December 11th, 2019. The Amber Alert went out on February 18th. February 20th, Hunter Wood, he is one of the players in this crazy little story, the elusive ex-boyfriend of Megan Boswell. Let's check him out and see what he has to say.
The search of this 15-month-old child, many people are telling me that they are being attacked on social media due to their involvement with the family. And I spoke with one man who says he has nothing to do with the disappearance of 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell.
I've never seen the baby in my life.
Hunter Wood says he briefly dated Evelyn's mother, Megan Boswell.
She applied for a job at my restaurant, Under T's Chicken Shack, and it wasn't like a relationship. It was an on and off going, type deal. It wasn't like an all-out, relationship.
He says he's known Megan Boswell for about 2 months and never saw baby Evelyn.
All I've seen is pictures of her. I have no relationship with that child whatsoever.
He says he's received threats over the internet, causing him to shut down his restaurant's Facebook page.
To my knowledge, the entire time that I've known Maggie, I've never seen the baby, of course, but as well as the baby has been with the father, back from military leave. And that is all that I've known about the child.
He wants the focus to be on finding the child and not on him and his business.
There's been a bunch of stuff said about, my restaurant, Hunter T's Chicken Shack, things negative towards, to try to, stir away the main key factor of us just trying to operate. I've never met the father in my life as well. To my knowledge, the entire time that I've known Maggie, I've never seen the baby, of course, but as well as the baby has been with the father, back from military leave. And that is all that I've known about the child, never seen it, never seen her or anything of that matter.
Well, he's atrocious, in my opinion. So before we get any further, let's just take a visual look at all of the players in this case. We have Mom, Megan Boswell, Ethan Perry, Dad, Angela Boswell, Evelyn's grandma, Tommy Boswell Sr., he is the one who reported her missing, that is Evelyn's grandpa, Hunter Wood, Crazy X, and William McLeod, Angela Boswell's ex. Now, the only reason Ethan is up here on this board is because he is her father, but he is not involved. His family have been cooperative, and they are just really innocent victims in this tragedy. And continued prayers go out for him and his family at the loss they have suffered. But yeah, Angela and William, and Hunter and Tommy, they all have criminal records. And now Megan Boswell, which is currently in jail. As a matter of fact, they are all in the same jail currently as of May 29th. Now, on February 21st, TBI released a bolo for a car believed to be occupied by Angela Boswell and William McLeod, and possibly Evelyn. Later on that day, William and Angela were arrested and held on unrelated charges in North Carolina, but no Evelyn. Now, later on this same day, Tommy Boswell Sr., he did a brief interview with the media.
Can you comment on that?
I don't know what happened, but I'm the one called DCS and got this started.
And why did you call DCS?
Because my granddaughter, she never did come back, and I just want to know what happened to her.
When was the last time you had seen her?
Thanksgiving, up to his house. We all had Thanksgiving dinner.
So you hadn't seen her since Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving.
I know some reports say that it was like early December, so yours was a lot longer than that.
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving.
Had you been in communication with them at all? Like, I know you hadn't seen her, but what about talking?
No, I hadn't talked to her nothing. I stayed busy, and I talked to my ex-wife, and I told her, I said, if Evelyn don't come home, I said, I'm going to do something about it. And she said, you better not do that. You're going to regret this.
So the sheriff in Sullivan County says, in regards to William McLeod and Angela Boswell and the car, he says that Megan Boswell was purchasing the car from the owner for Angela Boswell, which makes absolutely no sense to me, but payments were never made, per what the owner says. So on February 24th, the grandmother and William appear in court in North Carolina and then return to Tennessee for extradition. Then on February 24th, Megan gives an interview with a local reporter, Ainsley Daniel. Now the interview is like 11 minutes long. I'm only going to show a little bit of it. Not much, but just to give y'all kind of an insight to the mom and how she speaks and how she looks and how she lies. Let's take a listen.
She's never been mean ever, which I'm very thankful for. She's just a really good-hearted baby in general. Like textbook how you want a baby to be, like has hit every milestone early, you know what I mean? Well, when she was 6 months old, she actually quit a bottle on her own and went straight to a sippy cup. She started walking probably around like 10 months. That was kind of hard though, because she's like not like small as in like underfed, you know what I'm saying? But like she was a preemie when she was born. She's like a smaller baby and she kind of had trouble like balancing her weight, but she finally got the hold of it. She's starting to say a lot of words and, you know.
Tell me what kind of things she likes to do. What kind of is she into any certain TV shows?
Only Baby Shark. We went to Texas to see her dad, Ethan, and she slept the whole way there. Like I had to make her wake up to eat and stuff like that, and that's like a 24-hour drive there.
So let's get into the last time you saw her. Tell me what that time was like and when that was.
Well, actually, I want to talk about that. I've told TBI where to find her in Mendota. My mom took her to a campground and a silver camper, and if they don't go tonight, I'm going to go find her myself. Because I've told them, and they're not really, like, taking it seriously, and if they don't go tonight, like, I will go myself and go get her.
Tell me about the last time, though, that you saw Evelyn. Tell me what you guys did and when that was.
We went to go out to eat, and then my mom came and got her. She was wearing a little hot pink tracksuit with the matching bow and little matching shoes.
And was this December 20, like, right after Christmas?
A little bit before Christmas. My mom, like, you can ask her, is a very vindictive, manipulating person, and
yes.
She basically, like, threatened me the whole time that she was gone.
Do you know who has Evelyn right now?
She dropped her off somewhere in Mendota at a silver camper. But my mom would always say the person, not, like, people, plural.
So there is a person that has her in Mendota.
So that was on February 24th. On February 25th, the Department of Children's Services opened an investigation, and later on that day, Megan is arrested on false reporting, $25,000 bond. Now, on February 26th, a tip leads to the home of William McLeod's grandmother in North Carolina. It is a pond. In the search, it turned up inconclusive. They never really did elaborate too much on what inconclusive meant exactly. I took it as they didn't find anything because that's not where the remains were. But the grandmother did do a small interview, and she did mention that William McLeod showed up to her house in the middle of the night, and he was wet. He said that they were at a hotel, him and Angela Boswell, and that the pipes had busted. But he was asking for money, and that's about it on the interaction she had with him that night. But she did also leave a little nugget and said that if he was involved and something happened to the baby, he was capable of doing something or with being involved with something happening to this baby. I just thought that was odd that the grandmother would say that about him. To me, that is very telling. Then there was a tip that leads to Yakinsville, North Carolina, where they say this was at a KFC, and one of the servers there say that they believe they saw William, Angela, and Evelyn there together. But I don't believe that turned up anything either. And what's crazy is that, like for me, I got the original Amber Alert, but watching this unfold in real time, and every time they search something or they get a new tip and the media is alerted, it's like you're living it in real time. This poor baby. This just so many twists and turns to this case. Another search leads to a trailer park which is owned by Megan Boswell's brother. Megan used to reside in this trailer that they searched. Now, it appears that they pulled out a pillow and something else, and this was from the underpinning from up underneath the trailer, and they dug a hole. And there's pictures provided. Now, I don't know just yet how any of this ties into the investigation because the investigation is now sealed. Now, the residents at the time that they searched this property, they said they had been there for a few months. On February 28th, Angela Boswell bonds out of jail and has to wear an ankle monitor. And she has a brief interaction with the reporters outside the courthouse when she's leaving. Let's take a little look.
Angela, when was the last time you seen Evelyn?
Where's Evelyn?
Do you know where Evelyn is, Angela?
When was the last time you saw her?
Back up.
When's the last time you
Where's
saw
Evelyn?
Evelyn?
Do you know where she is? Is she alive?
When was the last time you talked to Megan?
Have you been able to speak to Megan at all?
I mean, it seems to me like she would make a plea for her grandbaby, like she can't be bothered with her missing grandchild. Just an observation. Well, she's warm and fuzzy, huh? So on March 4th, William McLeod bonds out of jail, which brings us to March 6th, when the remains of sweet baby Evelyn were found. I don't know, maybe 100 feet from Tommy Boswell Sr.'s house, in a shed with her toys, in the exact same thing that Megan said that she went missing in, is what she was found in. And honestly, I was in shock. I could not believe that the remains were right there, in essence, at this 500 block of Muddy Creek in Sullivan County, Tennessee, where it all started. This is where she's been, presumably, the whole time. I know that the officers had searched there. I know there had been police presence. I just couldn't believe that she was there. It was a huge outcry from the community. It's just awful. Now on March 9th, the judge increases the bond of Megan Boswell to $150,000. Now that is on her false reporting charges. Well, one charge at the time of March 9th. On March 11th, Angela does an interview with the Bristol Herald Courier, Kingsport, Tennessee, where she says that Megan told her that the child had been placed in foster care months ago and that she was still processing the child being dead. It's surreal, she says. It's something that's still sinking into me. I'm in shock about it. She also says that she had a falling out with her daughter in September, which is the same month that she claims to have seen Evelyn. She says towards the end of December, she had heard that Evelyn was removed from her mother's custody and placed with a foster family. She says that led her to get back in touch with her daughter and try to help. She does not explicitly discuss Evelyn with Megan because she wanted her daughter to bring it up on her own when she was ready, which I feel is a total crock of crap. It wouldn't have happened with me and my child. That's just me. Boswell said that she believed that it was true and that she thought her daughter was just embarrassed about it and didn't want to bring it up. I just believed Maggie, just didn't want to come out and tell me. But on February 17th, Angela says she spoke with the ex-husband and learned Evelyn had been missing. As we know, the following day there was a Amber Alert issued and he contacted the Department of Children's Services. I don't know any more than anybody else, she says. I'm waiting on the autopsy just like everybody else. She also says she does not believe that her daughter is capable of harming Evelyn and that she doesn't believe any other family member is involved either. She says her relationship with Megan is close, but she added that she did not get to see her granddaughter as often as she would have liked. The times I did get to see Eve, I loved her and enjoyed being with her. She also says that her daughter mended their issues earlier this year and saw each other on a regular basis again starting in January. She says Megan was living with her boyfriend, Hunter Wood. You know Hunter Wood, the one that says that he just slept with her a few times and they weren't serious, the one that she worked for. That Hunter Wood. She says on February 19th, Megan reached out and says that her boyfriend did not want her staying there any longer. Angela Boswell then says that her boyfriend, William McLeod, picked up Megan from a Shell gas station in Bristol, Virginia, and says she was stressed out about the investigation. She said they went for a drive to help her daughter calm down and later drop her off at the sheriff's office. She also says that she was avoiding the sheriff's office because she believes she had a violation probation from a past case, Boswell says. She also says that McLeod spent the night February 19th in Bristol and traveled to Wilkes County, North Carolina, where she said McLeod is originally from. She just needed to clear her head. I didn't know how to react. I was shocked. I was stunned. I was hurting over Eve. I was hurting over Maggie, and everything was rolling in so fast. The couple stayed overnight at a nearby hotel in Wilkesboro and later stopped by McLeod's grandmother's house where she says she stays in the car, Angela Boswell says. She says February 21st she had been in touch with Sullivan County Sheriff's Office about returning and in speaking to investigators. Soon after, she said a text from her dad let her know that the BMW she and McLeod were traveling in had become associated with the Amber Alert. She also says earlier February, Hunter Wood drove the BMW over to Kingsport Trailer Park and gave the vehicle to her because she has 2 young kids, ages 3 and 7, and she needed reliable transportation. Now, her father, David Jones, says Hunter sat right there in that chair, and he pointed at a red sofa. He told me and my wife, I'm giving Angela the car so she'll have something if the kids ever need to go to the doctor. Angela says she was under the impression that the car was a gift and that the titles would be transferred to her. On February 20th, the owner of the vehicle reported it stolen. The affidavit says Megan Boswell was purchasing the vehicle for Angela, but no money was ever paid. Angela Boswell says she was also surprised by the car theft charge and that she never spoke about the vehicle with its owner, Melissa Wood. While Angela acknowledges that some people may think she was fleeing town when she went to North Carolina, she says it was part of how she processes stressful situations. "I was worried to death about Eve," Boswell said. "My heart was broke, aching to a point that my mind wasn't working right. But people don't realize that." Well, I realize it. She was probably on a drug run. Who knows what she was doing? But she wasn't looking for her grandbaby. That's what I know. She says what Megan says about them going to Mendota is not true, and she doesn't have any ties to Mendota. "It hurt me, but that's still my child, and I love her. I want people, instead of judging Megan, I'd rather them put her in their prayers and understand that she is a child, too, caught up in this. And she loved that baby." So that's what the grandmother has to say. And honestly, it's May 2020. There have been charges against Megan for false accusations. They have a person of interest. And really, that's about it. There have been several arrests for Angela and William, theft, this, that, and the other. Too much to add in here. I don't think it's directly connected to Evelyn's death. That's why I did not include all these. God, there's just so many twists and turns to this case. But let's dive into the exact indictments for Megan Boswell. Now, these indictments came out on May 20th, 2020. False report, count 1. She said false statement concerning Evelyn, and defendant claimed that the infant child was with father Ethan Perry. Count 2. Said concerning defendant's alleged lack of knowledge of the whereabouts of the infant daughter and alleged efforts to locate her daughter. Count 3. Said the false statement concerning the alleged last physical contact of the defendant had with her infant daughter was Ethan Perry. Allegedly refusal to respond to her texts and voicemails regarding the daughter. Count 4. The said false statement concerning the defendant's alleged last physical contact with her infant daughter and the defendant's alleged lack of knowledge of whereabouts of her infant, even though she had concerns that her daughter was possibly injured. Count 5. The said false statement concerning alleged time frame of when the defendant gave her infant daughter to Ethan Perry to keep since she could not handle her anymore, and Ethan's Perry alleged threats to take the defendant to court to address custody of their daughter. Count 6. Said false statement concerning the defendant's alleged claim that she had last seen her infant daughter in the custody of Ethan Perry, December 26, 2019, and that she had not had contact with the police to report her missing. Child on the advice of Angela Boswell, the defendant's mother. Count 7. The said false statement concerning the defendant's mother possibly having her infant daughter, but refusing to share with the defendant the location of her daughter and whether she had custody of the defendant's daughter. Count 8. The false statement concerning the defendant's mother allegedly having taken the daughter in mid-December of 2019 and refusal to tell the defendant of her daughter's location, and that she had allegedly did not call the police to report her infant daughter missing out of fear that her mother would harm Evelyn. Count 9. The said false statement concerning the defendant's mother having allegedly taken her infant daughter because the mother believed that the defendant owed her money, and that the defendant's mother was allegedly told her that Evelyn Boswell would not return to the defendant until the money was paid. Count 10. The said false statement concerning the mother of allegedly having Evelyn Boswell at an unknown location, and despite the efforts of the defendant to find her infant daughter, she allegedly did not know the whereabouts of her infant daughter and did not have any additional information to provide law enforcement in their attempts to find missing child. Final count, count 11. Megan Boswell on or about February 23rd, 2020, in the state and county aforesaid, and before the finding of this presentation, did not lawfully and feloniously make a statement in response to legitimate injury by State Bureau of Investigation Assistant Agent in Charge Chris Wilhoit, a law enforcement officer, concerning her mother allegedly having given the defendant infant daughter, Evelyn Boswell, to another person who Angela Boswell refused to name, that her infant child was safe and would have a better life with the unknown person rather than the defendant. So that's it. That's where it stands right now. Like I said, they have said they have a person of interest, and they have not brought any additional charges. This case is dragging out for what I feel like is forever, and I just wish that there was more evidence or public knowledge of what is exactly going on behind the scenes. And I pray we have some swift justice. The courts are now starting to reopen back up from the beer virus. And yeah, hopefully there's a fire lit up underneath this case. And I just pray that we get justice for this baby. A part of me feels like you know what, I just don't know. We have to wait and see how it unfolds. All right, guys, I guess I'm going to stop it here. Prayers for the family and their loss. And I will break updates as they happen, and will definitely be following the trial. Y'all have a good day. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.